Hi there, it's Joe. I'm back to keep you up to date with our travel on the cheap channel. Have you ever swapped an RV? Your RV with strangers across the globe? We did. In Berlin in 2015. It was wild, wonderful, full of surprises, including a camper that came with bikes, a GPS with a sense of humour, and a white van we were glad not to be parked next to. It is with some trepidation that I did this video, my second, as it took so long to create the first video. Talk about a baptism of fire. I knew nothing of videoing or editing, and the software is a nightmare to get around for the uninitiated. So much to learn for this old girl, but I'm determined to give this YouTube a go. So I really appreciate you viewing my video. Hopefully this will be an improvement on the past. Before we hit the road, I should explain how the RV swapping works. You've probably never heard of it, especially if you haven't seen the first video. It's not just parking. Someone's rigging your driveway for 8 weeks. These swaps, they're full on adventures. You tow, you travel, and you live in it. We've swapped through RV Worldwide, a platform that connects RV owners from all over the world. It's kind of like a house swap, but with wheels. A lot more freedom though. Our very first RV swap came with a fair bit of nervous energy. We'd never done anything like this before, but luckily we got to meet our swap partners Henrietta and Harold when they came to New Zealand first. They were set to use our truck and caravan and were eager to show them all the ropes. But here's the twist. When they saw the size of our caravan, they had a change of heart. Maybe just the truck, they said, with a laugh. So off they went camping instead, armed with tents, gear, and a Kiwi spirit of adventure. Before they hit the road, we hosted them for a few days in our hometown. We took them out in our boat into the Marlborough Sounds, stayed in a batch by the sea, and spent our days fishing and scalloping. What a wonderful experience it was for our guests. They felt less like hosting and more like sharing a slice of our life. So different to life in Germany. They were wonderful guests. Lovely people to start our first swap with. Curious, kind, and totally up for the challenge. When they set off for their 8-week tour of New Zealand, we knew they'd make the most of it. Everyone travels differently, and that's half the fun. Some want the comforts of a caravan, others prefer the freedom of a tent. What matters is the connection, the trust, and the stories you create along the way. Oh, and yes, I still have my diary from the trip in 2015. Every day, every cost, every memory. It's a treasure trove of firsts. We arrived in Berlin to be met by them at the airport. They made us so welcome. We spent 3 days with them. We loved looking around Berlin, seeing the tourist attractions, trying the different food, and of course the beer. Places of interest to us were the Potsdam, the museums, the Reichstag, and then after having a look around, we headed north. Rod was given the steering wheel, and poor Henrietta was chewing her nails down as he tried to stay on the right-hand side of the road. The camper was a basic one. We had to make up the bed each night, but it was such a good length, under 6 metres, which made it easy for parking and sleuth camping. That's another video in itself. The camper came with 2 bikes that got used most days. Sometimes we would drive in as close as we could to a town or city, park up, and then just bike into town to see the sights. So easy and cheap. We followed the coast south with no real plan of our route, just knowing we had to have the camper back in 8 weeks. The GPS would often take us on some very awkward roads, and luckily Rod's calm and skilled driving always got us through. You can see our route on the map, a total of 8,000 kilometres. We enjoy learning about the history of a place. It helps us understand why the place is there and what has affected the people who live there. We always go to the local information centre in each town when we get there. Local knowledge is everything, from attractions and places to park our camper. When the information centre asks, "How can I help you today?" I say, "I don't know. I don't know what I don't know until I know." Sounds weird, eh? But it's so true. So you tell me, when you travel, you need to have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose and you travel, you just keep driving. Our purpose is to see national parks, mountains, sea, and learn the history of the places we travel to. We enjoyed the coastline in France and popped into Paris by train for the day to say we'd walked up the Eiffel Tower. Point to note, there are not many public toilets and you have to be prepared to pay. We had some close escapes. Make sure you've got coins in your pocket. We especially enjoyed the D-Day beaches and relived World War II history at the Cairn Museum, where we camped in the car park overnight. A highlight of the trip was Saint-Mont-Michel, a castle on an island in northern France. We drove close, got a free park, and then biked there. We wondered where all the bikers were until we went to park up and saw the sign, "No bikes allowed." Uh-oh. The coast of France is scattered with many lighthouses, forts, castles, and beautiful scenery. Most days we get up early, start driving, and about 10 a.m. we'd find somewhere nice to have breakfast in the camper. One interesting camp spot just out of Bordeaux was a truck park just out of town. We noticed a white camper parked there and thought, oh, maybe we should go and park close and be friendly. But then we thought, maybe they want their own space. Luckily, we did, as we had not long parked up. We realised this camper has a lot of friends. It was a hive of activity. Every 30 minutes, a car or a motorbike or a truck would pull up next to the camper and then head off again. We were pleased our camper was blue and not white. We spread out the driving and on average do about 100 to 150 k's per day. Some days we don't do any. We share the driving where I can drive on the highway or somewhere not too hectic. We drove down to Spain and rolled into Pamplona, famous for the adrenaline-fueled running of the bulls. But when we arrived, the town was quiet, peaceful even. No bulls, no chaos, just cobbled streets and a sense of calm that felt almost surreal. From there we headed east towards Barcelona, setting up camp in a site tucked near the train tracks. It wasn't glamorous, but it was practical, perfect for hopping into the city without braving the traffic. We're not really city people, but Barcelona had a vibe we couldn't resist. We did the classic hop-on, hop-off bus tour, ticking off the Gaudi wonders and soaking up the energy. But getting out of Barcelona, that was a whole different adventure. The motorways were some of the busiest we'd ever seen. Lanes merging, flying past, GPS chirping. Let's just say it was a true test of marital harmony. Rod was laser focused behind the steering wheel, and I was navigating like my life depended on it. Eventually we found our lane heading north and our sense of humour came back. These are testing times, all the fun of it. We had a mini flashback from the south of France though. I was cruising ahead on my bike one day, soaking in the views. Rod was behind me, blissfully unaware that he was about to become the star of someone else's movie. You wouldn't believe it. Then, suddenly, cut! Get that biker off our set. Yep, that was Rod, right through the middle of a film shoot. Special thanks to the South of France film crew for not chasing us down. Rod's cameo was brief, but brilliant and unforgettable. These are the fun things that happen to us while we're travelling. We have no plan, no problem, and this is how Switzerland surprised us. One of the best things about travelling without a rigid itinerary is you can chase the sunshine or dodge the rain. When the weather turned, we simply changed direction, no stress, no schedule, just the open road and a sense of possibility. We meandered back through France, letting the landscapes guide us, until we reached Switzerland, and there, in the postcard-perfect town of Interlaken, Rod ticked off a big one on his bucket list. Paragliding over the Alps, watching him soar above the lakes and peaks was unforgettable. Equal parts awe and, oh, I hope he lands safely. Of course, not every detour was planned. Our GPS had a flair for dramatic, occasionally sending us up impossibly steep mountain roads, or through tiny villages where we weren't sure if we were still on a road at all. But that's the magic of it. The tangents, the wrong turns, the laughter when we realised we'd gone rogue again. They're the stories we'll tell forever. An RV safety tip we didn't expect until a neighbour warned us. We were parked up next to a friendly couple in their camper, just swapping stories as you do, when they leaned in and said, "Make sure your gas detector's working." Seriously? Naturally, we asked why, and that's when they told us. One of those unsettling tales that sticks with you. Apparently, there have been cases where the thieves come during the day and drill a tiny hole in your camper while you're out and about. Then at night, they release gas into the van to knock you out, including your dogs, making it easy to break in and rob you while you're fast asleep. We'd never heard anything like it before. Sounded like something out of a crime novel. But the way they told it, calm, matter of fact, like it was just another lesson learned on the road, made us sit up and take notice. It had actually happened to this couple, so we were very mindful. So now our gas detector isn't just a gadget, it's a non-negotiable. Because while most people you meet out there are generous and kind, it never hurts to be just a little bit more prepared. Oktoberfest, held in Munich every year in October. We arranged to meet our son and his partner at Munich for Oktoberfest. This was an unexpected magic, the music, the dancing, and those huge steins of beer. We had so much fun dancing and singing. Those steins of beer hold 1 litre, and with all that cheering, they went down a bit too easily. We wandered off back to the camp on the train at 11 p.m, only to find the train stops at 11:30. So we were stranded. Luckily, a young man saw our predicament. 2 old people who had too much to drink and no phone. He rang a taxi for us and we were saved. It always pays to be kind in this world. because we need kindness ourselves at times. Pay it forward. We returned the camper back to the Berlin after giving it a good clean inside and out and spent a couple of days with our friends. After sad farewells, we flew to Marseille in France to go on our first cruise. We paid top dollar, not understanding how we could travel on the cheap back then. We had a lovely cruise around the Mediterranean and we were hooked on this cruising holiday. It was wonderful. No driving, no cooking, no money to handle, just sheer bliss. What more could we want in life? Going out for dinner each night, heading off to see a show, and then dancing the night away. What a contrast to our camping. We had to navigate, drive, cook, find our own entertainment, which was mostly playing cards. It was a real holiday of contrasts, with driving the RV and then becoming a passenger on a luxury cruise ship. We loved it, but it took time to find out the secrets of cruising and how to get better deals than just booking through a travel agent. Keep watching for my next video coming along about cruising and how we do it. So, our observations of Europe, crazy things really. Bikers rule. Even the police are on bikes. Everyone bikes everywhere. Public toilets are hard to find and can be pricey. Be prepared. You might need to have a few coffees at the cafe. Recycling is a serious business, which is awesome. We love to see it that you can give your plastics back at the supermarket and get a chit to spend there. Camping grounds. Make sure you bring your own toilet paper and have lots of patience. Wine is often cheaper than water. Our theory, why Europeans are slim and they eat the same food as us, especially those lovely pastries and bakery goods. 3 reasons. 1, there's no parking. You have to walk. They bike everywhere and you're constantly clenching your tummy when you're driving through those narrow streets. This trip taught us that travel isn't just about places. It's about people, history, and the kindness of strangers. And yes, we returned the camper sparkling clean before heading off on our first cruise. If you enjoyed this glimpse into our Berlin swap, wait till you hear what we pulled off in 2016. A double RV swap from Canada all the way down into the United States. The story's coming soon and it's one of our favourites. So stick around. We've got plenty more adventures to share with you. Wondering how we ended up swapping RVs across Europe? It's all started with RV Worldwide. There's a discount link in the comments if you're tempted to try it yourself. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more budget-friendly adventures. Ciao!